Let's jump right into our NFC East rumors here, starting with the Philadelphia Eagles and their wide receiver Golden Tate. There's a rumor floating around, and it's actually looking like the Eagles are not likely to resign their wide receiver Golden Tate. Now listen, he's set to be a free agent this year. Remember, Philadelphia traded for him last year for a third-round draft pick to try and bolster up that receiving core as they made their push towards the playoffs. And the Eagles, really, they have one of the worst cap situations in the offseason. This happens to almost every single team that wins a Super Bowl. Coming off the year after you win or the 2 years after you win, you actually probably struggle to re-sign players. And the Eagles, they have a lot of good players. They have to pay those good players. And so they're at the bottom of the league in cap availability and are going to have a hard time staying underneath the cap. But this rumor is all fueled based on a tweet that Golden Tate sent out and has recently deleted. It's no longer on his Twitter account. We have a screen grab of it right here. You'll see that Adam Schefter was tweeting, and then Golden Tate, he basically retweeted or replied to that tweet, basically saying, oh wait, you can re-sign players before the free agency opens on March 13th? Wow, didn't know that. So basically, it's kind of easy to read into this and see it's a cryptic tweet. He's saying, wow, Eagles have not even attempted to re-sign me. There's a lot of other big NFL names, big NFL name writers really saying that the Eagles, they're not going to re-sign him. So Golden Tate is going to go to the open market and probably be the best receiver in free agency. I mean, the free agent market is very, very thin in general, so Golden Tate is probably going to be the best. But the issue is, you look at his stats this past year. With the Eagles, 30 catches, 278 yards, 1 touchdown. Not very good. Now remember, they traded for him in the middle of the season. He didn't have a full season. He was with the Lions beforehand, so his numbers are not going to be that great. But overall, he did not gel well with the Eagles, and they're going to have to move on from Golden Tate. This leaves a bit of a hole for the Philadelphia Eagles in the receiving core area. Now remember, they have Alshon Jeffrey signed. They have Nelson Aguilar. But after that, they're going to lose Golden Tate, like we just said. They're going to lose Mike Wallace, as he's an unrestricted free agent. They're going to get back Mac Hollins, but after that, the Eagles are going to need to add another wide receiver. And like we said, they don't have a lot of cap space. There aren't that many good wide receivers in free agency, and the NFL draft is pretty porous at wide receiver as well. The Eagles are going to have some problems at wide receiver unless they can bring someone else in this offseason. What do you guys think? Should the Eagles re-sign Golden Tate? I want to know your guys' thoughts. And just like that, let's head on into our next rumor revolving around the Eagles. And this one is a trade scenario that's starting to pop up revolving around the Cleveland Brown running back Duke Johnson. The question is, should the Eagles make a trade offer to the Browns for running back Duke Johnson? Remember, the Browns just re-signed Kareem Hunt. That adds him to the backfield with Bradley Chubb, the rookie from last year from Georgia, who was really good last year. He's probably their best running back. And, of course, they still have Duke Johnson. The Eagles are going to lose Jay Ajayi this offseason. They're not going to be able to afford him. And Darren Sproles is like 100 years old. Odds are he doesn't come back for another year. And the Eagles are left with a running back stable of Corey Clement, undrafted free agent, and Josh Adams, another undrafted free agent. Now, both have shown promise. Corey Clement was good in the Super Bowl, and Josh Adams was good early on last year, but didn't play much in the postseason. So the Eagles are going to need to find another running back, and perhaps Duke Johnson could be just that. The Eagles are going to have, when the compensatory picks come back, about 9 picks in this year's draft. That's plenty of ammunition to go and maybe put out a 4th-round draft pick, or maybe a little bit later if they could squeeze Duke Johnson out of Cleveland for a higher pick. The Eagles have 1 first-rounder, 2 second-rounders, and then a 4th-rounder, and then so on and so forth. So I'm not sure you'd want to spend a 2nd-rounder on Duke Johnson, but you could still throw a 4th at him and maybe add a couple of late-rounder, a 6th or a 7th, and see what happens. Duke Johnson's profile is interesting. Still has 3 years left on his contract. He was a 1,000-yard rusher in 2017, but he's really good out of the backfield, 9.2 yards per catch. The Eagles love having receivers who can catch the ball out of the backfield. Again, Corey Clement, he's an Eagle right now, and he's been good in the past, especially in the Super Bowl, catching the ball out of the backfield. He caught that touchdown pass from Nick Foles in the Super Bowl. The Eagles like running backs who can do things other than just run up the field. They like pass catchers and blockers, and they really like to utilize their running backs in the screen game as well. Duke Johnson could be a question, or could be a pick that the Eagles could happen to acquire via the trade, and I think it's a possibility. I think they should really look at it because the Eagles need a running back one way or another. Whether you're going to draft somebody or you're going to trade for somebody, the Eagles are going to have to pick up some sort of running back, and Duke Johnson looks like he's going to be available, and the Eagles might be able to get him for a pretty good price.